Hey everybody, here is our installment of You Ask, We Answer. We actually broke into Auburn's football stadium for this particular edition, as you can see. Actually, I'm joking. We're with my buddy Nate Svatella here, who works for the athletics department, so we thought we'd do it at a very special venue. And he's going to go ahead and be our guest interviewer this week, so go ahead and ask away, man.
Alright, our first question is from Pat Triplett. Pat writes, are you bound and determined to make it no matter how long it takes, or is it more like seeing how far you get in 3 months' time?
Well, to be honest, up until a few days ago, we were thinking we weren't going to be able to make it in 3 months, but we've actually gotten a couple of huge rides from Virginia all the way down here to Alabama. So right now our goal is September 1st, and we're close to New Orleans, which we thought would be a good halfway point. So I mean, if we can get there, it looks like we're on track for that, and hopefully we can do it. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think we have the goal in mind for a couple reasons, and that's so we're always moving forward, and also due to, you know, a lack of resources. Not a lack of, but they are, you know, going to exhaust at some point, and we can't do it forever, although we'd like to.
I'd like to do it forever.
So, yeah, thanks for your question, Dad.
Right, thanks.
There you go. Second question is from Mark Barrow. Mark asks, what you do with any extra money you have after the trip is over?
Well, that would be a nice problem to have. I don't foresee that happening. I kind of assume he is referring to the donations we've been able to luckily get from some kind folks on this trip. We have our thanks for our support section, and it looks like maybe we're millionaires after that, but we thank people who give us rides, people who give us a meal along the way, even friendly emails and whatnot. So you know, we have a budget of about $4,000, I think, between plane tickets, the wireless internet, all the camping gear we had to get. $10 a day times 100 days, that's, you know, $1,000 right there. And then of course incidentals, we've already had to repair my computer to keep the website going. So anyway, you know, we've only received a fraction of that budget in donation form, which we're very lucky to have, but I don't foresee us having a plethora of money afterwards, and I suppose if we did, we've talked about wanting to continue this and maybe even give away a fellowship for somebody else to do it next summer and just keep the ball rolling with No Stranger Land. So.
Alright, our next question here is from Emily Priest. Emily writes, alright guys, how'd you guys meet, and where'd you come up with the idea for this trip? And she also noticed the tattoo on Brian's arm. She wanted to know the meaning behind that, and if Denny, if you have any tattoos as well.
Okay. Alright, well the first question kind of makes it sound like Brian and I are dating, but
just friends.
We met about 2 or 3 years ago in college. He actually worked at a bar where one of my best friends growing up, Ryan Patterson, worked, and we just sort of became friends due to that. I used to come in a bunch. Due
to Denny being a regular.
And just sort of started a friendship. Then last fall we went on a road trip, which will lead into the second question.
Yep, it was last fall that Denny and I spent 3 weeks in the Northwest in a car together talking about any and everything, and all of a sudden here we are today because of one conversation about what would it be like to walk across America and keep a website about your findings, and we just went ahead and followed through with it. And I think she asked how long did we plan it for, so that was the fall, and then we really got serious about it a few months before we left in May, so there's a lot of logistics to figure out, but you know,
it's worked out so far.
Yeah.
Alright, and
the tattoos. This one says, my country is the world and my religion is to do good, and it's a map of the world for after I traveled around it last year, and I can't wait for Denny to answer his part of the question.
Well, I have one tattoo. It is actually on my butt, and it says Made in Iowa on it. My parents actually just found out about this about a week into our trip, because there's a newspaper article written where the woman who wrote the article called us and asked for fun facts about us. And Brian answered the phone, and so he gave a appropriate answer for himself and then said that I had this tattoo on my butt. So it got printed in the Daily Iowan, and somebody had sent the article to my house and said, hey, I just found your article in the paper, it sounds like what you're doing is great. So my mom read it, found out about it, and called me up. And she was under the impression that nobody else knew about it. So she asked me, you know, I wasn't too sure if I could tell your sister about it, who all knows about it. And I was just like, well, everybody except you and Dad. So sorry, Mom and Dad, but that's the tattoo. And
This next question is from Liz Bolcom Smith. She asks, are you guys surprised by strangers' willingness to help you out? And what is the most frustrating part of your trip thus far?
Alright, I'll take the first part. I've been surprised, yes, but at the same time, you know, Denny and I both kind of believed that the world was a really good place to begin with when we started this trip. So the goal of the website was just to reflect that so other people could read about it and experience it, even though they weren't technically on the road with us. And this might sound a little cheesy, but technically it feels like it hasn't been strangers that have really helped us out. It feels like it's been people that we've gotten to know and have a relationship with, no matter how short or long it's been, and then we interact with them. And so yeah, when I look back at the things people have done for us, it doesn't, in my mind, feel like it was strangers helping us out. So, you know, we haven't been hitchhiking or really relying on people who we've never spoken to before. It's just been the people we've been able to meet and connect with along the way. So.
I totally agree with that. To jump into the second question, as far as frustrating things, you know, thinking about that, I would initially say maybe it's not knowing exactly every day what's going to happen, and you're kind of, you know, nothing's really planned, and you can end up here at the end of the night and not know exactly what it is. But then as I think about that, it's sort of like that's the most exciting part of it. So, I mean, we can wake up one morning, start walking 10 miles, you know, get a ride X amount of miles down the road and end up on a whole different path than what we thought we were going to be on at the beginning of the day. So I think you can look at that and might be frustrated, but I think that maybe you would probably agree that that's the most exciting part and sort of keeps the adventure fresh. Just not knowing exactly what we're going to do.
Yeah, I mean, if we had it planned out, we'd probably be more prone to be frustrated because things didn't work out. But we don't have an agenda per se, so
the expectations aren't there every day, and it kind of leaves ourselves open for great things to happen. And so far, we've been fortunate enough that those things have happened. So I'd say it's been great.
Nice. Thanks so much for your questions. Please keep them coming, and we will continue to answer them.
All right.